And on that note, let's welcome on board Amar Sinha, the COO at Radico Khaitan, and we also have Dilip Banthiya, the CFO, joining in on the show right now. Gentlemen, both of you, great to have you on the show. Amar, if I could start off the discussion with you, the hottest topic in town right now, GST, and we understand that alcohol is not under the purview of GST in the current framework. But if India were to completely restructure the existing GST framework, do you see the possibility of AlcoBev being included under the GST framework? And in that case, what happens? Because being a sin product, will it be taxed as the highest GST tax rate, that of 40%?
So thanks, Aisha, for having us on the channel. Alcohol is not in the GST and it is a state domain, state subject. It requires constitution amendment with 3/4 majority, which didn't take place at that time. And we see that alcohol continues to be in a state domain. As far as GST rationalization is concerned, the government is contemplating slab rationalization and two large slabs like 5% and 18%. At this point of time, we pay 18% GST on most of our items, and we absorb around more than 200 crores in our cost. If cost rationalization takes place, there will be some benefits on the input cost. And as far as the output is concerned, the alcohol sale is concerned, it is out of GST, has its state taxes. Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Also help us understand, do you expect the state or the central government to compensate for the loss of revenue from GST rate cut by increasing excise on alcohol? Is that a possibility you see playing out in the near future?
So can I? Yeah, please. So see, it's like this, that excise duty increase by virtue of this being a state subject matter has been happening for the last many decades, because most state economies depend upon the revenue that accrues from the AlcoBev space. But it has also been seen that in the current government, the structure is such that most state governments have been promoting revenue and sales collection from liquor. And whenever there has been a cost inflation or any increase in costs, there is an excise duty increase and a price increase as well. And we have experienced price increases in practically most states of the country over the last 3 years.
Indeed. But Amar, what are your thoughts on India and UK FTA? That is also expected to give a big boost for the Indian AlcoBev industry, which will result in a phased reduction in custom duties on whiskey and gin from 150 to 75% immediately and further to 40% over a decade. How much financial benefit do you foresee for the industry, and also how can it help your volumes overall? Amar and Dilip, if you both can answer on this.
So first of all, we welcome the treaty that has taken place between India and UK. And we are very optimistic about this. First of all, Radico is the largest importer of vatted malt spirit from Scotland to blend with our luxury and semi-luxury products. We hope to import 250 crores this year. And in the next 3 years, this figure will rise up to 500 crores. So obviously, you can see the benefit that will accrue in terms of our cost and margins with this reduction of duty from 150% to 75%. So we welcome this move. And I think it's a win-win for the industry.
Dilip, if you could just add in over here, because, you know, the market believes that the landed value of imported spirits is expected to exceed 250 crore rupees in FY26 alone, and that duty cut will result in a cost saving to the tune of about 75 crore rupees. Would you concur with this math?
Yeah. So as Amar has just said that we will import approximately 250 crores of VMS this year. And duty cut by mathematics itself makes it 60 to 65 crores of benefit, because out of 250 crore, 150 crores will be the duty element.
I would also like to add that with the bottled in origin products being imported, this reduction of duty actually is going to result in a 8 to 10% decrease in consumer prices. So I think most companies will like to retain this margin rather than cut on the price, because it dilutes the brand equity if you reduce price of premium brands or luxury products.
Okay, and Amar, if you could weigh in on your volume growth going ahead as well, because the company has consistently reported solid volume growth by scaling up to the 20 M cases in FY15 to 31 million, pardon me, in FY25. Will this double-digit volume growth sustain for the next decade? What could be the key drivers for this?
So, as far as we are concerned, see, the premiumization journey was started in the year 2016 with the launch of Rampur Indian Single Malt. And after that, the journey has continued. We've never looked back. We've been registering strong double-digit growth in most of our semi-luxury and luxury products. The fact is that the Indian market is buoyant at the luxury end of the segment. The growth is a strong double digit. We are keeping up with the growth. Most of the products that we've launched in the semi-luxury and luxury segments are doing exceedingly well. The consumers have accepted our products. I think in India, brands like Royal Ranthambore are growing at 90% plus. Rampur Indian Single Malt is one among the top 5 Indian single malts across the globe. It has great traction. Jaisalmer Indian Craft Gin that we launched a couple of years back, it has a market share of 50% plus in the luxury gin segment. We've just launched in Q1 of FY26 the Spirit of Kashmir, which is first luxury vodka from India for the world. And it's unique in terms of blend, taste, packaging, look and feel. And we have aspirations of making it global. I think this is a big brand for the future. We've also launched Morpheus Premium Whiskey, which has been very well accepted at the initial stage. This was a segment where Radico was not present in the super premium whiskey category, waiting for long to launch this. And here also we've received great response. It's the largest profit pool contributor to the IMFL segment, and we hope to make this big. So if you really look at it, the journey doesn't stop here. And there are many more products on the drawing board of Radico. We will keep up to the buoyancy of this segment in the times ahead. We hope to retain the growth trajectory that we are registering now.
And as far as your question regarding the volume growth, I think we will keep up the momentum. For the 26 outlook is that we will have 20% growth on our overall volume, and the P&A will grow much faster than that, and value growth more than 25% plus.
Well, indeed, we have seen some of your products doing very well in the markets as well. But Amar, if you can also help us understand that what are some of the new launches that you are planning to do in your premium category? Because you just touched upon that how some of your recent additions into the portfolio have done so well for yourselves, and we have been reading about some of the awards that they have been receiving. But in terms of the growth ahead, what sort of an addition do you plan to make?
So, it's very important for our consumers and shareholders to understand that, the strategy of Radico in the last 3 decades has been to first achieve leadership positions in brandy, vodka, and gin segment, as well as rum, because rum is the largest segment in the defense sector, and there also we've got a 30% market share. In the other categories, we've become leaders with Magic Moments having a market share of 60%, Morpheus brandy, super premium brandy having a market share of 60% plus. Then vodka, we just talked about 60% plus. So gin is 50% plus in the luxury segment. So we've achieved leadership positions in other categories, and it's now time for whiskies. Rampur has received accolades all over the world, and Royal Ranthambore recently launched, is considered to be India's finest blended whiskey. There is a beautiful product on the drawing board, and it is a single malt whiskey, which we hope to launch by the end of FY26 as well.
Right, interesting. Just a couple of quick questions, Amar, and I wanted to talk about the raw material pricing, because despite strong volume growth over the last few years, there's been higher inflation in both glass as well as ENA, which has impacted your margins previously. But now that both glass and ENA prices have begun to ease, do you expect margins to break past that 15% mark in the next few quarters?
Yeah, so Aisha, we have seen very high inflation, hyperinflation for last 3.5 years. Every commodity has gone up, right? From the glass prices, the grain prices, the fuel prices and all that. So we from last 2 quarters see a benign scenario, a proactive policy of the government supporting the ethanol blending program by allocating certain rice from their quota to support, so that the impact on the market in the prices were softening. And I think the declining trend is continuing. We have seen 7 to 10% decline in the broken rice and maize prices. We see this because government has also given directions for the next year ethanol policy, some allocations. Hence, we see that the prices of grain will be on benign situation. As far as glass is concerned, that is also on a benign base. We see these prices to stay here. So the tailwind of the raw material as well as the glass is being reflected, and from Q3 onward, some more tailwind of this will be reflected in our margin.
So we are well insulated against any possible cost inflation now, because you see the growth journey is towards premiumization, and about 5 to 8% cost inflation really does not affect us so much, because most of our brands are now targeted at the luxury end of the AlcoBev space. So it's great times for our consumers, shareholders, trade channel partners, and we hope to make India proud.
Amar, Dilip, sounding good. On that note, we'll let you go on that. Thanks once again for your time. Good speaking with you today.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Okay, time now to shift focus from AlcoBev.